You know, one of the things that Maya Angelou used to always say to me, and I love this, she used to say to me, baby, those people can't hold a candle to the light that God already has shining on your face.
Yeah.
Can't you see? So I learned to focus on the light that God has shining on my face and not worry about the people who trying to put up a candle and burn it.
When you have haters, you have to understand what haters are. Haters are a very limited number of people. They're really not the massive amounts that operate in your life. It's just that hate is so loud. Hate is louder than love, but love is stronger. If you focus on the people that love you, you can blow over the haters. Haters ain't shit. Most people hate you only because of the way other people love you. That's why you got most of your haters anyway.
You're allowing people who don't matter, right, in the grand scheme of your life, when it comes to like the totality of your life, the grand scheme of your life, you're allowing people things that really don't matter to matter so much. That's why I hardly respond to like the negativity or the hate. It's really got to a point where it's funny to me. I feel sorry for those people because it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I know they're not going to support me. They're not going to do anything for me. So why does it matter?
What you may think is a disappointment, a person that walked away, a friend that betrayed you, a coworker that's trying to make you look bad. You may not like that, but you couldn't reach your destiny without them. It's all a part of God's plan to get you to where you're supposed to be. David would only be known as a shepherd boy if it wasn't for Goliath. Goliath was strategically placed in David's path, not to defeat him, but to promote him. Without Goliath, David would have never taken the throne. Don't complain about your enemies. It may look like a setback, but really it's a setup for God to get you to your throne.
People's opinion of you is none of your business. I have lots of haters. They on the internet all the time. But who are they though? They don't even know me. People who are haters on the internet, I call them thumb gangsters. They just typing shit. Their little punk got a private page. They saying shit about, they don't even know me. So I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this, he think he this. You don't even know me. So I just keep going through. But then I tell you something too, haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing something. If you have no haters, if you don't have any haters, you ain't doing nothing, man.
We don't have to play up to people, try to convince them to like us. Hopefully they'll give me a good break. No, God doesn't have to use your friends. He can use your enemies, your critics, the ones that are trying to push you down. He can use them to push you up. Some of my enemies, I feel like I need to write them a check. If they hadn't have been against me, I wouldn't have prayed so hard. If they hadn't have made fun, I would have given up sooner. If they hadn't have told me I couldn't do it, didn't have what it takes, I might have been complacent, settled where I was. It was their opposition that pushed me forward. Many times, God will use your enemies to catapult you to success more than your friends. David said, God prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Notice, when God brings you through the opposition, He's not going to do it in private. He's going to do it where all of those enemies can see it. The longer I live, the more I realize nothing happens by accident. Even the opposition, if you'll keep the right attitude, God will use it to your advantage. I was talking to a well-known minister one time. For over 50 years, he had gone around the world doing so much good. Most people were very appreciative, but in his hometown, the local newspaper was never for him. They were always finding fault. He could do 100 things right. They wouldn't report that. They'd find the one thing they didn't like, make a big deal out of it. This went on year after year. He had an interesting perspective. He said, if it hadn't been for that newspaper, I would have never accomplished so much. I thought, what do you mean? He said that newspaper not only kept me on my knees, but it gave me the fuel to keep pressing forward to prove to them that they were wrong. He went on to build a beautiful university in that city. Tens of thousands of young people have attended. And toward the end of his life, when he was just about done, all of a sudden the newspaper had a change of heart. They wrote this big front page article celebrating everything that he had done. It was almost like God waited on purpose. God knew that enemy, even though my friend didn't like it, it was making him better. It was keeping him stirred up, made him more determined, more resilient. Some of the things that we don't like, we're asking God to get rid of. If He removed them right now, we wouldn't reach our highest potential. That opposition is making you stronger. Those people trying to stop you, the betrayal, the disappointment, that cannot keep you from your destiny. God has the final say. And if He hasn't removed it yet, that means He's going to use it for your good. He strategically places the Goliaths, the Judases, the opposition. Without Goliath, you can't take your throne. Without Judas, you won't reach your highest potential. Without the naysayers, you wouldn't become all you were created to be. Some of the favor that you're seeing, some of the good breaks you've had, it didn't happen because of you. It happened because of those people that tried to stop you. They put you in position for promotion. Now, I always thank God for my friends, but I've learned to thank God for my enemies as well. The scripture says, don't be intimidated by your enemies. Don't be intimidated by what somebody said. Don't be intimidated by a negative medical report. You and God are a majority. When Jesus came out of the grave, He took the keys of death and hell. He said, all power has been given unto me in heaven and in earth. Now I'm giving you that power. You are not weak. You are not lacking. You are full of can-do power. The greatest force in the universe is on your side. When you see where God takes you, the favor, the promotion, the blessing, you're going to look back and say like the psalmist, it was good that I was afflicted. See, if David were here, he would tell you, it was good that Goliath showed up. Jesus would say, it was good that Judas betrayed me. I can tell you, it was good that executive was against us. It may have been uncomfortable at the time, but one day you'll say, this enemy didn't defeat me, this enemy promoted me. Now stay in faith. God has your back. He wouldn't have allowed the pressure unless He's going to work for your good.